Apollo Saturn launch control T-minus 3 hours, 4 minutes, 32 seconds and counting. Right on time as far as the astronaut countdown is concerned. The prime crew now departing from their crew quarters. 10, 9, ignition sequence start.
Boy, how's that for video from the vault, right? In 1961, President John F. Kennedy set a goal for the nation: land a crew on the moon and return to Earth. 8 years later, in 1969, the mission was accomplished. Today, July 20th, is National Moon Day, which celebrates 57 years since the crew of Apollo 11 safely landed on the moon.
An estimated 650 million people around the world tuned in as astronaut Neil Armstrong became the first human to set foot on the lunar surface and deliver these now iconic words.
It's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
Phenomenal. About 19 minutes later, astronaut Buzz Aldrin joined Neil Armstrong, becoming the second man to walk on the moon. And joining us live this morning here on Earth is Dr. Noah Petro, the lab leader for planetary geology, geophysics, and geochemistry at the NASA Goddard Space Flight Center. Good morning. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me on this auspicious occasion.
Yeah, as we've been talking about, today marks 57 years since Apollo 11 landed on the moon. Looking back, why does that mission really still stand as one of humanity's greatest achievements, and really what lessons from it continue to shape space exploration today?
Wow. I mean, we remember it because it was the first, and it was the first of a series of landings. And as we now prepare to send humans back to the surface of the moon through the Artemis program, I think we remember its incredible accomplishments. 3 humans to the moon, 2 to the lunar surface, and that they went not just for exploration, but also for science. They brought back rocks, they brought back samples, they deployed experiments, and really set about this incredible era of exploration of our solar system. With the return samples from the moon, we learned about the ancient history of the solar system, not just the history of the moon, but how that relates to the Earth and indeed the other planets in our solar system. And now, as we find planets in other solar systems, we use the lessons of Apollo, of those samples, to unravel the geologic history of our planet, of other planets and other solar systems. You see the images from Mars here, and we think of exploration as having happened in these discrete moments, but landing on the surface of the moon with humans was preceded by robotic landings a few years before Apollo 11, and then in 1976, Viking landing on the moon, on Mars, excuse me. And now we've sent probes to the surface of Venus. We've sent probes to the surface of Titan. We're exploring our entire solar system. But that moment, 57 years ago, where Neil and Buzz spent just a few hours on the lunar surface, puts us in a position now where we can say, hey, it's time to go back to the moon and time to go deeper into the solar system.
Right, and that's so clearly that's the blueprint for everything else that's happening right now when we go up and start exploring space, right?
Absolutely. Everything from how to train the crew to be prepared. Right? We didn't send 2 geologists on Apollo 11. We sent 2 pilots, 2 engineers. They became excellent geologists. And so as we look towards future exploration, what does it mean to take humans who don't have the expertise and get them ready to go do what we're going to ask them to do on the lunar surface? So we're doing that now with Artemis. We saw with Artemis 2 just a few months ago, the incredible success of sending 4 amazingly talented humans, a very different swath of society than was sent to the moon on Apollo 11, and what they were able to do in orbit around the moon. And so as we start preparing to go back, we're thinking towards what works best to get those astronauts ready. What do we need to do to be ready to get their samples, their observations? We're still digesting all that was done on the Artemis 2 mission, just the same way we're still digesting the work that came back from Apollo 11 57 years ago. The science is not done just because the mission is that old. We're still learning new things from the experiments and from the samples that they brought back.
Well, it makes us excited to hear you so excited talking about it. So cool. Dr. Noah Petro with the NASA Goddard Space Flight Center. Thanks so much for your time this morning. Happy Moon Day.
Thanks for having me. Happy Moon Day. Everybody go out and look at the moon tonight.
Love it. All right, Joe, over to you.